flower friends, it's Nicole from Flower Hill Farm, and I'm standing amongst the tomato seedlings that did not sell at my seedling sale. Granted, I may have started a bit too many of these seedlings, but what I did was start the wrong kinds. I had no idea what my customers were going to ask for when they showed up here to buy tomato seedlings because they showed up by the dozens. I just wasn't growing the right stuff. So I needed to figure out a way to fix that, to make it better for next season. And I think I may have figured it out. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how to make this seedling sale more successful. I had a lot of customers, but I think I could even have more. And something that my father said to me a few days before the seedling sale kind of had my wheels turning. He said, "So how many pre-orders did you take?" And I said, "Ooh, Dad, I didn't take pre-orders." No, I didn't do any pre-orders. So I had asked on my business page, was everybody looking for this year? And I had the herbs, tomatoes, nothing specific. And just because a customer comments and tells you what they're looking for doesn't mean they're going to come and actually purchase that when it's ready for sale. So I thought back to the video that I did with Ian and Serena from You Can't Eat the Grass, and we talked about our seedling sale prep. And they were talking about some mistakes that they made in their early years by offering too many varieties of tomatoes. And lo and behold, I offered too many varieties of tomatoes. They've got a little bit more experience than I do in this seedling sale realm. So I saw Serena recently talking about Local Line, and I had to look into it for myself. Local Line is basically an online shop for your business. And I asked Serena what she liked about it, and here's what she had to say.
I love Local Line. It's so easy to use. This spring, we used Local Line to help us sell during our seedling sale, and it did the work of an entire full-time employee. And that's just time that you can't get back. It is more than paid for itself.
I've been crunching the numbers, and if I broadened my sales to the neighboring city and actually started to offer deliveries, I could have actually made 3 times the amount than I did this year. Right now, more than 8,000 businesses in North America use Local Line as their online platform. This is great for family farms, homesteads, farmers markets, and I'm told you can even run your CSA. That's definitely something I'm gonna be interested in looking into because I need an administrative assistant, and this is basically what Local Line is for a small business. It takes care of all the ordering, all of the delivery information, all of that stuff. It's kind of all in one. I haven't had a chance to put it to use just yet, but I have been playing around with the platform and I found it pretty easy to use. You upload photos and you put your price, and they even have a drop box with things like ounces and bags, 6-packs, all the different options you can think of when it comes to farm items. It's so much different than your average website. I feel like using a platform like Local Line is gonna take me from the backyard gardener who's selling extra seedlings to the professional business where I'm not answering text messages and Facebook messages, because they get lost, guys. Those messages get lost, and I don't always have the time as I'm planting and harvesting to get back to those customers, and I don't want anyone to be left out. That way, if all of my orders are coming in one place, I'll have the opportunity to make them all happen. I really feel like I was missing out. I was already delivering my CSA bouquets to the neighboring city. Why not add on seedling deliveries? Really, it's that simple. I was already delivering. Why didn't I think of that? I'm most excited to open it up for pre-ordering. Then I'll actually know what seeds to start. So if I open it up, say March 1st of 2022, and I have all of these options for what kind of tomatoes and peppers and herbs and stuff that you can order, those orders can allow me to figure out what I should be growing. I think it's gonna save me a lot of time and a lot of hassle, because I put a lot of energy and a lot of effort and a lot of money, to be honest, into the seedling sale this year. And while I did really well, I don't wanna calculate the hours that I spent, plus all of those hours that my mother-in-law and my sister were over here helping me. If I really were to add it up and divide it, I'm not exactly sure how much money I actually made on the seedling sale. Creating an inventory on Local Line, creating a catalog, having those pictures, having your brand out there, and having a place where people can just make the purchase and you can just have it ready for them. That's gonna streamline things. Whew. I'm super excited because I feel like next year, I'm just gonna triple my sales. I'm definitely going to try it out for my seedling sale this year. If you guys are looking for something that's similar to Local Line, that's this e-commerce storefront for you guys, check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. It's a free trial. You literally can't go wrong. I'm really excited to use this tool because I really like the way Ian and Serena handle their pre-orders, and that's what I'm really hoping to take advantage of, because they have boxes of pre-orders ready to go. So if someone orders like 4 beefsteak tomatoes, 2 cherry tomatoes, and hot pepper and a dahlia, they would have a box ready to go for that person, and that list is generated by Local Line. So all you have to do is look at the list and create that order for that person and have it ready to go for pickup or delivery. You never know if people are going to show up the day that you're actually having the sale. So with this pre-order, it makes it easier for more customers to be a part of it, because if you can't make it to my farm between 8 and noon on the day of the seedling sale, you weren't getting any seedlings. So this enables people to maybe I can make it more than one weekend for pickups or evening pickups or a delivery day. It's something like that. So I don't know, I just am thinking a little bit broader for next year. I really think I can handle it because I know I can grow the plants. That's not the problem. It's just getting them into the people's hands and into their gardens. That's the problem. So what's a girl to do with all of those leftover tomatoes? Did I mention I love tomatoes? I'm just gonna plant them. Let's go do it. So my mother-in-law and I planted the first, 75 tomatoes. And then I took over by myself and I got the rest done. I just discovered an empty hole. So I just grabbed a plant and it's kind of cool looking because, well, A, it's way too big, but it's started to develop roots on the part of the stem towards the bottom because it's growing like this, and anywhere the tomato plant stem hits the dirt, it will start to develop roots, which is why a lot of people will bury their tomatoes. I always take the lower stems off when I put it in the ground, but if you have a leggy tomato, something like this, you can put all of that in the ground and like plant it down to here, as long as you can dig deep enough in your soil. So I know a lot of YouTube gardeners talk about this, and definitely not new information, but maybe it is for somebody. So anyway, I'm gonna bury this as much as I can into the hole that I skipped over here. Look, I missed it because this one's leaning over so much that I didn't even, I thought there was already a tomato there. I have stakes, I just have to grab them, I'll do them in a minute. I also have more on order because I only had, I think, 75 stakes. So I definitely need to get more for ones that are leaning. Actually lay it on its side. Oops, holding hands with other ones. And I'm gonna bury it like that. Okay, that one's good to go. Right now, I just found a San Marzano. I already planted all of those. Okay, so I got all the mortgage lifters in, and I'm gonna take a break because I don't even know what time it is. Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, it's after 9 o'clock and I've been doing this for a little while now. And I haven't eaten breakfast, so I'm gonna go get at least a cheese stick. Okay, so I had a cheese stick, some fruit salad, and a little bit of yogurt and granola. I told you I was hungry. Okay, so now I just brought down the beefsteak tomatoes that I'm planting, and I'll go over everything when it's all in the ground. Have you guys noticed this entire time that, oh, can you even see it? This one right here is still in its package. I guess I gotta put this one in the ground. But anyway, Some of these clearly need to be staked. Eventually they all need to be staked, and I obviously can't put a tomato cage around all of these. Last year I used cattle panel fencing, sort of like what Roots and Refuge Farm Jess does over there. They have the cattle panel fencing, they run it down the row, and then they tie up the plants. That's what I did last year, and it worked great. Obviously, I'm not gonna haul cattle pail down here onto the Bio 360. I think that would probably be a nightmare. But anyway, I do have from years past these green tomato stakes. These are the size of, they're 5 feet. You can get them in all different heights. And they're, I don't know, there are 25 of them. I think they were like $40. I just smashed that plant. I just smashed it. I don't think it's broken, but I'm gonna put a stake on it. Anyway, so here's a good example. So I just dropped these and landed and smashed this. It's not broken though, so I think I can stake it up. So I just grab, it's just a regular stake. You just kind of put it down next to the plant, and then I use these clips. I also have a new brand of clips coming in because last year I found the smaller size just wasn't big enough, and as the tomato plant grew, it outgrew the space that these clips provided. But they do come in 2 sizes, and these clumsy Butterfingers, these bigger ones worked quite well. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip the plant. Okay. So I think that plant's gonna be okay. It just bent it. It didn't break the stalk or anything like that. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. But anyway, I think what I can do is do this every couple of plants, and if I need to, I can run a string to support the plants in the middle, because I have about 65 or 75 of these, and I also have maybe another 50 coming in the mail in a couple of days. So I'll stake every few plants and then string up what I need to. Okay, so all of the beefsteak are done. I planted the evergreen tomatoes and the peach tomatoes, which were gifts from Creatively Candace on here, and the seeds were gifts. Oh, beep, 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 beep. Oh, that's the Bella. So now I'm down to the cherry tomatoes, and I'm doing it in the 3rd row. So I'm starting a 3rd row of tomatoes. Well, I'm done. I've never grown so many tomatoes in my life, and I can't be more excited. I'm serious, like this is awesome. So I just finished counting, and there are 364 tomato plants. I know I have at least, okay, let's go over what I put in. I have 50 San Marzanos at least, and then it turns into Romas and Amish paste, which, so this entire row right next to me here are all canning tomatoes. So that is, or sauce tomatoes, which is so exciting for me because I'm a huge sauce maker. I'm an Italian. My grandmother makes the best of sauce, and I make it too. My sister actually makes better sauce than me. Anyway, I plan on canning a lot this year, and I'm hoping to share some with my friends as well and some family members. And then this row right here, this is the beefsteak row, except for on the end there's probably 15 feet of blush tomatoes, which is aroma, but it's like a orange and red striped beautiful tomato. Really liked it last year. Anyway, so I probably have a 15-foot row of blush, and then it turns into the beefsteaks, the slicers, the tomato sandwich beauties. I've got black crim, I've got triple crop tomatoes, I've got, what else? Mortgage Lifter, Abe Lincoln, I am so excited about all of those. I grew all of those except for Mortgage Lifter last year. I'm excited about Mortgage Lifter. It's a massive beefsteak and I can't wait to eat a sandwich with it. The Black Crims were my favorite last year. I planted about 100 tomato plants last year, so this is more than triple of what I've grown in the past, and I thought 100 was a lot, but I also crammed them into a small space. Believe it or not, this is actually more space. These are about 18 inches apart. This is more space than I gave my tomatoes last year. So they're like 2 feet on the sides, but then I put that one in the middle. So I like to keep my tomatoes nice and trimmed up on the bottom. I do a lot of picking off lower stems. I'll just snap them off all the time. That way there's nice air movement and there's less chance for disease. Now everyone's worried about blight. Now we don't usually see any blight on our tomatoes until very late in the season. I really haven't had an issue with that, so hopefully I don't see any of that because I don't want it transferring anywhere. So that's kind of a risk that we're taking here. So I did run out of my compost that I've been topping off the tomatoes with, so I've got to run to the store and grab some more so I can top off the rest of the tomatoes, and then stake and use the clips. These are the clips that I use. They just easily like pinch right on there. Like I said, the smaller ones, the tomatoes tend to outgrow. In the years past, I've used cotton, just cotton string. And then for my cherry tomatoes, I have small red cherry and I have Berry's Crazy Cherry. I'm very excited about those. We will see. I have a couple of other varieties too that I can't remember the name of offhand right now, but lots and lots of tomatoes. So I will be selling them at my porch sales. I'll sell the tomatoes themselves, the beefsteak mostly. I don't know if I'll have enough cherry to sell. We'll see, because we go through a lot of those just from snacking. But I will also see when it comes to the Romas and the San Marzanos, because I want to make, you know, I make a lot of sauce in the winter. I make a lot of chili. I make a lot of goulash. I make a lot of sauce-based meals. So I want to preserve as much as I can for my family. And I know my mother and father-in-law wanted to can some as well. My father-in-law is already getting the canning jars ready. So we do have a couple of tomatoes on the blush plants. I already have little baby tomatoes, so it's happening. Most of the plants have flowers. So yeah, that's it. I've got almost about 2 90-foot rows because the basils in front here is taking up about as much space as the cherry tomatoes are right there. So if I had put the basil elsewhere, we would have 2 95-foot rows of tomatoes, 364 plants in total, and they all look great. These are not all my tomato plants, however. I have donated a whole bunch of seedlings to a community garden in our neighboring town. So I found out that a neighboring town like a mile away was trying to start a community garden behind the town hall. And so I got a hold of one of the organizers and I said, hey, do you guys need any seedlings? I'd love to donate some seedlings to the community garden. And she said, yes, absolutely. They're in the process of building the beds. So I've reserved a couple of each tomato to donate, and I also, you know, the long hots and some herbs as well. So my seedlings are not going to waste, but hopefully next year, by utilizing Local Line and actually taking pre-orders, I will be able to definitely hone in on what my customers want, and we'll see how this goes. If this is a tomato flop, then I will definitely not grow this many next year. But if this is a tomato success, then I will both be successful at my seedling sale and at preserving my own tomatoes and having some for my porch sales as well. Anyway, I am exhausted. I'm gonna go jump in the pool with Axel. Thanks so much for sticking around. We'll see you soon. Am I recording? I can't tell. Ooh, yes. Pick the paper up, put it in the bag. Oh, didn't work. Doesn't work. Ah. Ow. Much easier. Pre-order, 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 pre-order. I feel it's like cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. So pre-ordering is definitely the way to go. Let's go plant tomatoes. Flower Hill Tomato Farm. Head on over to my Local Line store and buy all the tomatoes next year, 2022. In the year 2022.